Hi, this is Zibby Owens, and you're listening to the award-winning podcast, Moms Don't Have Time to Read Books. And speaking of books, I have two of my own books coming out this spring and summer. Princess Charming is a picture book, which debuts on April 19th, and Bookends, a memoir of love, loss, and literature, comes out on July 1st, and it is truly a labor of love. I hope you'll pre-order, order, and join me on tour as I go across the country. You can find out more at zibbyowens.com or bookendsmemoir.com. And you can follow me on Instagram at zibbyowens because I always post about everything. Enjoy the show. Hi, so this is a special sneak peek 5-minute episode about the movie The Bad Guys. I got a screening of it early, which was really exciting, and was offered the chance to interview Aaron Blabley, who is the best-selling author of the Bad Guys series, and also the director, Pierre Perifel. So your kids undoubtedly will want to see The Bad Guys, and they absolutely should. And I'm going to read you quickly a little bit about the author and also the director. And then you can listen to our quick chat, and hopefully this will arm you with some fun stuff when you're watching the movie. Okay, so Aaron Blabley, who, by the way, is also the executive producer, is a #1 New York Times bestselling author with around 30 million books in print. He is the creator of 3 globally popular book series, The Bad Guys, Pig the Pug, and Thelma the Unicorn. His series, The Bad Guys, has spent well over 100 weeks on the New York Times bestseller list. I also got a chance to interview at the same time Pierre Perifel, the director, who is making his featured directorial debut with the release of The Bad Guys. He most recently served as head of character animation on the short film To Gerard and as director of the short film Blabey. He was at DreamWorks in 2007. He worked as an animator on Kung Fu Panda, Monsters vs. Aliens, Shrek Forever After, and then stepped up into the lead character animation and supervising animator on the film Rise of the Guardians. In addition, he directed the short film The Building. In 2008, he received an Annie Award for Best Character Animation in a Television Production Short-Form Content for his work on Kung Fu Panda, Secrets of the Furious 5. He is a native of Lyon, France, and a graduate of the prestigious Gobelin L'École de l'Image in Paris, and is a member of the Academy of the Motion Picture Arts and Scientists. So I hope you enjoy my chat with the two of them. Play it for your kids. Go watch the movie. DreamWorks Animation presents The Bad Guys. Well, it's so nice to meet both of you. I'm Zibby Owens. Nice to meet you. And thank you for providing us with amazing Saturday afternoon entertainment. My daughter was home with COVID. We were stuck in the house, so we were all masked with her, really far away watching this movie, and it got me through. So thank you.
Oh, great. I hope she's getting better.
She's totally fine. She had no symptoms, but in fact, she has the most questions for you. And she really wants to know about Diane Foxington. Why was she different in the movie than from the books?
Different in the movie from the books, I think. Go ahead, Aaron.
Well, I think in spirit, she's the same. I mean, she has a different name. And I actually can't give you a decent answer as to why she has a different name. It just happened. But yeah, her character is very true to the books as far as I'm concerned, because she is a character who is the opposite of the bad guys in many ways at the beginning, everybody's judging them because they seem scary. In the books, you get a sense that she's kind of perfect, but in fact, she has a really complicated backstory that makes her very similar to Wolf in many ways, which is why they bond. So that's been preserved really beautifully. But she has a different name. I can't explain. I
think that'll do the trick.
She's also. I mean, in the book, it's true that in the movie, she's the greatest villain. The greatest bad girl, and reformed. In the book, she's created that league of superheroes. That's also a little bit of a difference, that we kind of give. But the idea was just for her to make her sensationally cool and badass.
Yes.
And that's something we wanted to keep.
I love that. Excellent. Okay, another question from my kids. I hope you don't mind. How do you direct animated characters? Do you just yell at them and hope that they hear you?
Yes, exactly. That's the way. No, of course not. We can't really do that because it goes to create the performances that you see on screen. you go through two different steps. The first one is recording the actor, or the actors, So we do that in just sound stage. They have a script, they read the script, they read the lines. I ask them to read them different ways. They read through the sequences. We play together until we find the right tone for each line. Then we cut that together. And then those lines, those recordings, based on shots, we send those shots to the animators. And those animators have virtual puppets. And so imagine like Wallace and Gromit, like clay puppets. Well, they are not clay, they are CG puppets in a computer, but they have a skeleton and they have ways to move them. We have ways to move them with software. And that craft is being given to animators. And so they use the voice, and then based on that voice and based on my instructions and what I want to see for that shot, how I want to see the characters emote and move, they start, creating frame by frame a little, performance and make those characters pop to life. So it's kind of two steps.
Okay. One of the things I loved was the overall message of the film, right? It just feels so good when you're good. The tail wagging. It does. It really does give you that tingle and feeling. What was the last thing that you did that gave you that tail wagging good feeling?
Oh my God.
That's a good question.
Well, I made a massive surprise to my kids.
Nothing?
Earlier today.
Nothing? You both are bad guys after all. It's terrible.
No, I got tickets for them for Coachella, and they were so happy. Sorry. They were jumping around, and I think that made my tail wag big time. Seeing the joy in their eyes is like great. So we're going to Coachella.
You know what? I have to say it's movie related. I took my boys to the Australian premiere of this, and they've grown up with this, obviously, because it was written for them, and that was so beautiful. And I was worried, actually, because that was written when they were 6 and 8, now they're 14 and 16. So I was worried the eldest especially, might be a little too cool for it now. But they were like 6 and 8 again. It was so beautiful. So, yeah, that was the last time my tail was wagging.
Amazing. Well, thank you again for delighting my whole family, and it was a pleasure to meet you. Thanks for all of your amazing work.
Thank you, Zibby. Thank you. Take care.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Moms Don't Have Time to Read Books. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Zibby Owens and at Moms Don't Have Time to Read Books. Also sign up for my newsletter at zibbyowens.com and sign up for my virtual book club and meet lots of authors on Zoom every other week. Thanks so much to Steve and Ryan at Texture Sound for the sound editing. And thank you to Morning Moon Productions for providing this fantastic intro and outro music.